Hi, this is Polly, and I wanted to touch base with you all. First, anybody who knows has followed any of my videos, pretty much, most of them, knows that I've been struggling, that I am struggling, that I'm having a difficult time in life, and also that that's not really anything new for me, but that it's worse these days. So I just wanted to say, first off, that I've been doing better the last few days. I would say, in fact, that I've been doing better since I fired my housekeeper, who was putting a lot of stress and strain on me. She's not a bad person. Well, actually, she might be a bad person. She didn't seem like a bad person until I fired her, and then she got kind of mean. But she was very demanding and very controlling. And having people try to control my life has been something that has been very damaging to me and is very difficult for me to handle. So anyway, I did fire her, not unkindly, but I did tell her that I needed her to not come back, and that didn't go real well. She wasn't very receptive to that, but ultimately it seems like she's out of my life, and I've gone 4 days without any suicide attempt. Also, really, without feeling as suicidal, which I guess maybe feeling that controlled, I don't know whether to give credit to this or not, but feeling that controlled and that out of control of my own life was taking its toll on me very, very much. So anyway, just wanted to let you know things have been better the last several days, and hopefully they will continue to be so. I still have the PMDD, so I just don't know how much of what different issues that I have are affecting me at different times, and you know, it's very hard. It's very hard. But like I said, I've been doing better, and I wanted to talk. Really, I just wanted to briefly talk about personalities and motivations. And the reason I wanted to talk about that was because I realized something with this housekeeper. I realized something with her and with several other people in my life who have been in my life who have tried to control me. And I mean not just telling me to do something that I should do. I'm talking about people demanding things of me, taking over control over my life in ways that is totally inappropriate. Ordering me to do things, telling me who I can have as friends, telling me what I'm allowed to do. And, you know, I'm an adult. I'm 45 years old. Maybe I don't always act that way, but who does? Still, I'm an adult. I need to not be controlled by another human being. It's my life. If you're out there and somebody is controlling you, is violating your own control over yourself, then that is not right. It's your life. Okay, it's a little different with parents when you are a minor. It is a little different, but they still can go too far. I'm not sure exactly how to tell you where the limitations are, if they're going too far, when they're going too far. But parents aren't perfect, and parents don't own you. Nobody owns you. That's what I felt like. I felt owned. I felt owned by my housekeeper. I felt owned by certain members of the singing group I was in at different times. It was a little different with that, but maybe I felt more hated and dominated than owned by them. But I definitely feel owned by my mother, and that's a struggle that I've lived with my entire life. So the reason I wanted to talk about personalities is because I think that by being able to identify different personality types, it actually helps understand where they're coming from and what motivates them. And then that can help you understand why they are relating to you the way that they are. There is a personality test out there. I do not know specifically the name of it. I believe that it's fairly new. And it's a colored personality test. They've had several, many different colored personality tests, but this new one is based on motivations, not so much personality, but motivations. What motivates you to behave in the ways that you behave. And a lot of what they look at, and this is quite fascinating, is when you take this test, a lot of the questions are not what would you do in this situation, but what would you have done in this situation when you were a child? Because our true motivations were the most clear when we were little children, before we were taught, oh no, you shouldn't behave that way. Oh honey, you can't do that. And social etiquette and people's beliefs were forced on us and ultimately changed our behaviors, and everything becomes muddled because, here we are, when we were children, we had personalities and motivations that were much clearer. We did what we felt. We acted the way we felt. And sometimes now we do the exact opposite. And we're confused by that because we don't even realize what we feel now. We just know that whatever it is we're feeling in a lot of cases is wrong and don't behave accordingly. And things just have gotten really, the older you get, I think, it gets harder. I don't know. But this test looked back at it asked you questions looking back in your childhood. What did you do in this situation? How did you treat these people? If this scenario happened, would you do A, B, C, or D? And it was a fascinating, honest to God, fascinating test to take. And I learned a lot about myself. And was reminded that I was a great kid. I was just a great kid. I was a kid who cared about other people, and I cared about other children, and even children who were mean to me. I didn't have the urge to be mean to them. I didn't have the urge to be mean back. I would be hurt, and I would be angry sometimes, but I wasn't somebody who would be vindictive and retaliate. I never have been that. In any case, this test is really interesting because it breaks personalities down into 4 colors: red, white, yellow, and blue. And I'll just give you just a generalization. There's so much to read and learn about these different personalities, and it's fabulously interesting reading. I promise, it really is. You will be able to not only categorize yourself within one of these 4 colors and the traits associated with them, but you'll be able to do that with your friends and your enemies and your neighbors and those strange people that you just barely, know anything about. You kind of have to know somebody a little bit to understand, but you're able to place them, and then you're able to understand how different colored personalities interact with others, how compatible they are, what issues they might have, and how they feel toward each other, and how they relate toward each other. Well, when I took this test, out of the 4 colors, I was labeled as a blue. And a blue personality tended to be somebody who was empathetic, loyal, sincere, responsible, compassionate, very down to earth, didn't have an agenda, somebody who was very sensitive, more easily hurt, somebody who really, the most important thing in life was connections with other people, not somebody who was, blues tend not to really be motivated by money. They're motivated by deeper things. love and loyalty and trust and connections. And so that's what I know about the blue. And I know more about the blue, honestly, because since I came up as a blue, I read more about it, and I know more things about myself, so I can give you more information on that. All of the colors have positive qualities and negative qualities, or those that would be perceived as positive and those that would be perceived as negative. And truthfully, all four of them really are needed in the world to balance things. I mean, we need followers in the world who happen to be reds, leaders in the world who happen to be reds, and then followers who oftentimes are whites, and sometimes blues. The other thing is, this test gives you a percentage of how much of this color and this color you are. It doesn't say you're 100% blue, or, some people, everybody can score differently. Mine was very, very predominantly blue, but I had some white too. Now, white is more of a peaceful person, wanting peace. They're motivated by peaceful relationships. They want calm. They don't always achieve it, but they're more phlegmatic. There's not a lot I can tell you about that one. I didn't score very high in that one. I think I was like 60. I scored fairly well into it, but like 60 or 70% blue, and then 20-some% white, and then I had a little bit of yellow, and I had like 0 red. I don't think I had even a speck of red, but not even pink. But then there's yellow, and the yellow people are like those, really exciting, adventurous types, and they have lots of friends, and they're the social life of the party. Oh, I might mention that the whites tended to be more shy, quiet. But the yellows are the life of the party, and probably the ones that are gonna like embellish stories the most, and they're the exciting people that can tell jokes and laugh, and they love being the center of attention, and they're really fun people. And then the reds are like very serious, very task oriented. Mostly they're the ones who are money oriented, or the most money oriented. Everybody in this world is to some degree, because you have to have money to live. But people who are more in the red are more motivated by making money, more motivated by performing a task, and getting it done. I don't know about, I know that as a blue, I'm somebody who wants to do something well. Doing something well is of utmost importance to me. And I don't know if reds also share that, or if it's more a matter of getting it done and moving on. Reds are very, they're leaders. They are very project-oriented, structured. They kind of run the business. They run businesses. They a lot of times are the people, the chiefs. They're in charge of other people, and really are responsible for helping, maybe not helping, but getting everybody doing what they should be doing and where they should be doing it. And anyway, the 4 different colors are very, very distinct, actually. Very distinct personalities. And then, like I said, you can have additional colors. Most people are not 100% this. And I was mostly blue, which are, your very much your trust and loyalty, and those very honorable qualities. Not saying any of the other ones are dishonorable, though if one is going to be, it's going to be more in the category of red or yellow. Again, good qualities and not so good qualities in every color. Okay. So I'm not trying to put any down. All of them are needed. But it's interesting because I'm able to look at individuals that I know and say, that person is definitely a white. I understand. I have a friend who was trying to help me through a tough time 2 years ago, and I really wanted him to defend me in front of our other friends who were making judgments about me. And he never spoke up and defended me. And I was actually very hurt by that. Until I read this and I realized that he's definitely a white. He's very quiet, he's shy, wants to get along with everybody. The white category, those people just don't stand up for other people. I don't mean that they don't, but I mean that is not their nature. That is not the nature of that color. And I have some of that too, so, I mean, to a certain degree, that part of me would not feel like it could stand up on behalf of other people. So, now a red would definitely be willing to stand up for another person if they believed in whatever they have the wherewithal and the strength to stand up for them. Yellows would, blues would have the loyalty to do it, and I mean, I don't know how much courage they would have to do it. Although I have done it, so I'm pretty sure it's my blue that did it, but and I can look at other people, the people I get along with the least well, including that housekeeper, and go, oh yeah, they're reds. Those people are alpha characters. Alphas, alpha males, alpha females, those are reds. The color red, and they're leaders, pack leaders, and their jobs their strengths are in that. So, but it also said in this test, blues and reds get along the least well of all the colors. They're kind of at the extremes, and blues and reds often don't get along. And I have found that to be very true within this singing organization that I'm in. I love singing. I love singing the music we sing. There are certain people I don't get along with, and they are the people in power, and those people migrate to the positions of power because they're alpha females in this case. They're leaders, they're reds. That doesn't mean we can't get along. This book also, if you were to get this book and study and read up on this, tells you how to get along. And part of it is just realizing, oh, because I have this motivation and they have that motivation, we have opposite motivations. Somebody's trying to get me to do something by motivating me with money. It's not going to work. It's just not going to work. That isn't going to motivate me. Tell me to get something done, because we need a good job done, and and this is important for mankind, and I'm like, okay, and maybe I can do that then. If it's got importance to me, motivation to them. So, it's color, it's the color personality test, something like that. Has the 4 colors, blue, red, white, yellow, and really tells you a lot. There's a lot of information that it gives on you, your color, your secondary colors, tertiary colors, and maybe even have part of the 4th color. And how you interact with other people, and why they behave the way they do, and why you behave the way you do. And so, since I struggle with that a lot, I struggle so much. I'm a blue. I'm in a very unfortunate situation in that I am an autistic person who is blue. Meaning, blues are the most social, maybe not the most social, but the yellows are social in a way, but they're the kind of the attention grabbers. The blues are the ones who seek intimate relations, and I'm not talking about sexual intimacy necessarily. I'm not talking about that. I don't think that's any more in one category than the others, but just relationships, close relationships with a few friends, a few best friends, and that's what's important to people who are blues. love and loyalty and trust in people and relationships with them. And then to have that, and then to have a social disorder, autism is, and blues are also extremely sensitive. And so to have be blue and have autism is a wicked combination. So, but, that's my cross to bear. And there are other people out there with the same problem. So I intend to do a lot more research on this. I've barely scratched the surface of it. I've done a lot of reading about this personality. It's a personality motivation inventory test or something like that. And I intend to do a lot more research on it, because I think that even in understanding other people better, just from the point of well, these are their motivations. People behave according to what motivates them. They don't behave randomly. When somebody does something, it's done because of a motivation. And so if you can understand the motivations of other people, as well as understanding the motivations of yourself, then I think you can have a lot better shot at getting along. Certainly being more understanding of other people and yourself. And maybe even being more forgiving of other people and yourself when something happens that you don't like, something you're not proud of, or something you're angry about. Anyway, that's really all I wanted to say. Just kind of, if you don't know about this personality test, it's a book. It's a whole book about this whole personality theory, color personality theory. I wish I could give you an author and a title, and I can't right now. I will maybe come back to you with some more information later, having done some research. But I would implore anybody who is struggling with relationships of any kind to take a look at this book, to look into this color personality. It's a color personality testing, color personality motivational personality inventory. Something under those keywords, and the colors are red, blue, white, and yellow, and it's really interesting. So sorry I couldn't give you more specific details on it, but I do recommend strongly people looking that up and maybe finding out more about it. So that's all I have. Just wanted to let you know that, and God bless you all, and good night.